Hello viewers, welcome back again to our channel Smart Data Learners by Data Scientist.ca. Smart Data Learner is a project of Data Scientist.ca. The goal is to enhance the data literacy, financial literacy to our viewers, to bring projects focused on data analytics and create the awareness how this all uh, data analytics landscape is. So today, viewers, we are bringing another case study that's a very famous database by Microsoft, uh, and the database is Contoso. It's a database about a big retail store. So let's go through with that. Uh, it's a bigger database and has a lot of records, and we will work on to solve some problems faced by the Contoso management. So let's start. Power BI case study, retail sales analysis, Contoso. Business overview, company Contoso, industry, it's retail management. Business model, multi-store retail chain selling electronics, consumer goods across multiple regions. Business challenge. Business challenge basically we have here is Contoso leadership wants a centralized performance dashboard to monitor sales, profit, and growth. Compare performance across stores, cities, and regions. Identify top performing products and underperforming locations. Support data driven decision for inventory and marketing. Objective. The goal of this analysis is to analyze overall sales and profit performance, track year-over-year growth, identify top and bottom performing products and stores, understand region and city level performance, provide interactive insights for business users, data set description, Contoso. So basically, views this data is based on SQL Server database. So this data is residing in the SQL Server, and it contains a fact table. There are a lot of tables, but in today's video, we will be working on around these tables. Fact table, fact sales, sales amount, sales quantity, cost amount, order date, product key, store key, customer key. These are just a few, but there are a lot of others. When we'll go through the project, we will work on it. Dimension tables, dim products, product name, category, subcategory. There are some other tables also we'll see when we'll work on it. But we have some important tables are already here. So then we have a dim store, a dimension store, store name, store type, dimension geography, city, state, country, region, and then dimension date, year, quarter, month. Data model. Data model is star schema, one-to-many relationship from dimension to fact sales, single direction, cross filtering, best practices. These are just a few of these. KPIs, total sales, sum of sales, total profit, sales amount minus cost amount, profit margin, profit divided by sales, uh, total quantity, units sold, year over year sales growth, current year versus past year, average sales, per store sales divided by number of stores. Tax measures. So viewers will go through these measures when we will be using these, but just to give you the what are the main measures right now we have in front. Total sales, total profit, profit margin, sales year of year, year over year growth. But we'll go through when we'll be working on this project. Then we have a pages and visuals, executive summary, store performance, product analysis, time intelligence. So there are a few of these. So we'll also be looking into the actual dashboard and then we'll start working. Key insights. Example, sales increased 12% over year, driven primarily by urban stores. Top 20% of stores generate 65% of total sales. For example, certain rural locations show declining profit margins. Accessories category has margins but low sales volumes. So we'll have these insights from once we have the dashboard. Uh, Business recommendations, increasing inventory of high margin. Business recommendations are increasing inventory of high margin product categories, optimize or relocate low performing stores, run targeted promotions in high growth cities, focus marketing spend on top performing regions. Tools and skills demonstrated: Power BI, data modeling, star schema, advanced DAX and time intelligence, drill through and cross filtering, retail KPI analysis, business storytelling. Conclusion: this Power BI solution enables Contoso's leadership to track real-time retail performance, identify trends and risks early, make data-driven strategies, make data-driven strategic decisions, and so on. So viewers, these that is basically the just a brief overview of our case study, and let's go through the actual dashboard. From there, we will move to the start building this dashboard. So we're in now we are looking at the just a preliminary analysis. We'll complete this dashboard in the next session, but in this we will go through the major points that will be built in our dashboard. So basically, this is the summary of sales amount by region, country, region country name. For example, these are the countries. You see these are two big bubbles, or one is China and one is United States. This is North America, and we can this. So these are basically the. So first is the sales report. In the sales report, basically that will focus on the sales amounts by the country region, right? Not the profit, not the profit margins. It's just a sales amount. So we can clearly see that the two biggest countries are China and the United States, and then followed by the smaller countries. Then we have the fiscal years uh, Slicers. We can slice this by years. Fiscal means like so every country has, every company has their fiscal year time period. So that's why we wrote it a fiscal year. Um, Fiscal year 2007, fiscal year 2008, and fiscal year 2009. These are the 3 years we will be working on, right? Then we have a net profit by continent. We can see that North America is the biggest, followed by Asia and then Europe. Then we have the sales amount by channels. Channel description means stores, physical store, online, reseller, and catalogs. So main sales are coming from the online on the physical stores, followed by online sales, and then resellers, and then catalogs. Total sales by city name. So there are top five cities here named here. There were the countries, and now we have a top five cities. The top five cities are Beijing, followed by Seattle. Let's see if top five by top sales city names, right? So that's how we have. So Beijing, Bethesda, North Hartford, Berlin, and Seattle. So these are top five cities. Beijing is the number one. Total sales by product category. So the top products categories: home appliances, computers, cameras and camcorders, TV and videos, and cell phones. These are this data is you see is from 2007 to 2009. So a lot of changes have been occurred, but this case study, this is a product, this is a project for learning this, and you will see that this data is according to these fiscal years 2007, 2008, and 2009. Total sales by date key. Date key is basically a month, month, year. Okay. So in January 2009, so to November we have more sales. So this is a trend we can see. Then we can look into 2008. There are some ups and downs. We see in 2008 we have low sales, then these were increased, and so on. And in 2007 we have lesser we the same trend. This is basically a trend. We have total sales. Then the next page is sales by country analysis. This is sales report overall. This is by sales by country analysis. So basically in this we have different So here we see that overall total sales for all years are, and for all countries, 12.41 billion. And we can, since this data resides in SQL Server, we can check, verify our data from SQL Server also. Let's do that. It's good practice to verify the data at the back end if we're not making any mistake, right? This is our Contoso retail. And we can say select some sales. You see in this sales amount from fact. You see, viewers, this is a 12.41 billion. So that's just a check. So 12.41 billion, we have the sales. Then we have a quantities total overall, and then year of year, because since this is all years data, so we'll see uh, this. We cannot compare. But we will compare when we will select. So these are the total sales by class name, total sales by brand name, total sales by total sales and sales last year by product category name. And then we have a store names, top 5. These are top 5 stores. You see, in our project when we're working, we'll do all of these proper formatting in the next session. So in this project, we are just overviewing what we will be working on. And this is sales last year and current year sales. So these are 2009, 2010, but we'll use the filters in the next. So here we have the cities, countries filter, and there we have a years filter. So now we'll select our first year is 2007. So in this year we won't see the comparison with the previous year. But if we go to the 2008, we can see the comparison. So in the comparison, you will see we have last year we had the 1.3, and this year we have more, and so on. The computers, in the computers of current year we have lesser sales, and last year we have more sales, and so on with the TVs and cell phones. And the below we can see the sales last year and current year by month, right? January 2008, So 2008 will be the current year and the last year would be 2007 of the same time period, right? And you see here we have some difference. And the thing we can see is in order to verify this data, we can create a let's create a table here. And we'll put the sales amount. It's always good to have good to check the total sales at 12.4 billion. So if we add a date key, let's add the only the date key. So we will see this is January 2007. We have 8.3 million. So let's go to our yeah 8.709. It's see 8.3 million in the 2008 current year. And if we go to the January of 2008, let's Okay, viewers, let's as we were looking at the verifying these figures. You see, these are the January 1st. So these are every day there are daily sales, right? And if we look at the table, so January 1st is 8.31 and so on, right? So that's how this chart is working. So this is a daily sales. So heading would be here, heading would be by day. These are by day. Okay. So we have gone through this chart also. And now here's the goal is not to just finish the product. The goal is to enhance the understanding of our viewers. So that's the main goal. So that's why we spent some time on verifying these figures. Uh, and we have already gone through that. Now the next page is margin analysis. So in the margin analysis, uh, basically margin is will show you the measure which we are using here. It's a quite a big project, lot of learning. So we have a lot of measures also. So let's see what the profit margin is. So profit margin basically is we divide the net profit by the total sales, right? So when we divide this, we got this 57.83. So most of these are falling between these ranges, 57 point something, right? That is the basic profit margin. And here we are using, so this is percentage change in sales. Calculate, divide sales last year's and total sales minus 1, right? So these are the last year sales. So last year sales are simply calculate total sales, same period last year, dim date, right? Total sales with this extra parameter, same period last year. So whatever we were say doing, looking at the sales, it's the same period the last year, right? So percentage change is it's minus 1, and then group by dim product category, dim product category, product name. Dim product category is a table, and from that dim product category name, then group by dim product subcategory, it's table, and then dim product category, product subcategory name, and then group by dim product. So these are basically the changes we are calculating by category, product category, and product subcategory, right? We'll create some other videos for going in details on this DAX measures, but for this project, we'll just have to review that. So these are the product category name is, we are using product category net profit change from the last year. You see, if we go to 2007, we don't have any year, previous years from 2007, so we won't have anything here. But if we go 2007, we see we have two categories, audio and home appliances. These are minus 0.04. And then 2009, in 2009, we have negative 23% profit change in net profit. Profit is positive, but change profit have decreased in these categories. But there are some, let's see, we can music, movies, and audios, books. These are positive. Cameras and camcorders are 28%. This is a positive change. TV and videos have a positive 0.3%, and then followed by these negatives, right? Then we can look into the sum of net profit running by months. So this is Meyer we are using here. So viewers will briefly explain that, but for in detail, we have some dedicated videos on our channel to learn these. But right now, for the sake of this project, we will just go through these. There are certain DAX. We have used that methods. We use calculate net profit, filter all selected, dim date key. Date key means the date is on or after, dim date key, max, dim date, and date key description. So basically these are the running total. We have in January 5.0283. Okay, this is a net profit, so that is how it works. Okay, for this we will choose the net profit by month in January. This, and we can verify these in our this chart. And here we will, instead of sales amount, we will use the okay. So these are now by the month, not by the date, by month. 152 in January, February, so on. So let's go to our margin analysis, so on. So we'll always use the figures which you can back through easier to understand visuals. Like tables are most simpler way. There are a lot of numbers, but always verify this data showing in the chart by using a simple table, as well as if you can run the SQL queries or the SQL queries, right? So we have the table visuals. These are the most convenient way and faster way to verify this data. And viewers, now the next one is I know we are spending a lot of time in going through this, but that is the goal of the project, is to verifying the figure we are using. This is always a good practice, right? So in this now the next graph is profit margin, and net profit margin by product category name. So basically, what we are doing here is we are using a product category name, and then we are using a, in the x-axis we are using profit margin, and in the y-axis we are using the profit margin. In both axes we are using profit margin here, and then that gives us the direction. These are the margins by the product categories, and then the bubble size we are taking it as a net profit. You see there are big bubbles, like their profit is more but margin is less. Here you see its profit is less, this bubble is lesser than, shorter than this one, but margin is high, and the product category is camcorders, right? So we can use all the different measures. Also we can use sales amount, but in here we are looking at the margin analysis. So it's always a good idea to explore these measures. And then now in the next is, and here we have a net profit by city name. Net profit by city, or city name. We will use a better name even we will complete the project. So you see, the biggest city is Beijing. We can see that net profit. We can use, always use the comma, so we can see that Beijing is the biggest uh, city, followed by a lot of other. But we can also filter that by top. Uh, let's see if we can filter this by Okay. Let's cities. Let's say we want top 10 cities. Top 10. It would make more sense. We will have top 10 cities by the net profit. You see now we have lesser cities here, top cities, right? So Beijing in North America, Seattle, city name Bethesda, that is also in North America, followed by Paris, Berlin, and the top 10 cities here. We can always increase and decrease top 25 cities, and so because it's a huge database and we have a lot of cities, so it's better always to change this priority from, like, we can go to 25. So these are 25 cities. So you see aging and so on. So next is by sales by stores. So here we have all the stores listed here. So these are all the stores here. So we can just select one store and then we can look into the store sales by month, and so on. Then we can look into different, right? These are all, and then we have the different categories. Total sales by class name, and then we have the year. So for example, we are looking at a city in Contoso, Austin store. We go to the Austin, and you see we have this map. We have the products net profit, quantity sold, total sales, and so on. So these are, and also we can see the top sales brand names, total sales by class name. Now the last one is profit contribution analysis. This is a very interesting graph we have used here. So we can look into this by profit analysis by continent, store, product category, product name, and then by years, and so on. And this is our total net profit. So we can expand that. So North America leading the way, followed by Asia and Europe. And we can, if we double click on that, we can see that in North America we have Contoso North America. Contoso, these are categories. Store name, Contoso North America, Contoso catalog, and Contoso North America reseller. This is the third one, is reseller. So if we want to further dig down, we can look into the Contoso North America, what's happening here. In the North America, we have home appliances. And in the home appliances, we have refrigerators, litware, and here we are looking at the net profits. These are profit margins by net profits. That's how we can dig down into, for example, in the Europe, if you go to the Europe, Contoso Europe online, in the online, the main sales are from the online and the home. These are the categories and these are the products, top 5 products or the top products here. You can scroll these. So viewers, that is the project we will be working on today. That will be quite a big, sizable project, and we will, when we will be completing the project, we will go through and we'll learn a lot of new things, new features of Power BI, DAX, and so on, and new visuals or existing visuals or the visuals we have not used. So we'll stay tuned, and in the next session, we will be working on this project. Thank you for staying for so far. And also, if you like this project, please subscribe us and like and share. Thank you and have a great day. Hello viewers, welcome back. We are now we will be working on the dashboard project, which we have gone through in our last session where we reviewed the case study and completed dashboard. So let's begin. Okay. So as always, first we will give it a name. We will give it a Contoso sales analysis analysis. Today is 1st Jan 2026. 9th of January 2026. Okay, viewers. Now, as always, we will import the data for this project. And this time we will be importing from SQL Server. And for the SQL Server, as always, we need a SQL Server name. So to obtain the SQL Server name, we will connect. When we connect, it gives us the SQL Server name. To close it. And then it will ask database optional. So we will take the Contoso retail data warehouse. And we'll say OK. And here we will need the tables dim channel. Then we need to have dim date, dim channel, dim date, dim geography, dim product, dim product category, subcategory, dimension store, dimension, no, it's a fact, sales. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tables. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Dimension territory. We are missing dimension territory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. Okay, so we'll load the data. Basically, the fact you see the fact is a big table. It's a 3.498, 3 millions, more than 3 million rows. So now I'll go to the transformation tab just to look at. It's always a good practice, but I think this data is from Microsoft website, Microsoft database, sample database. So more of all of these will be okay. Basically, but we'll see this full date label. It should be it's a date label. So let's leave it the way it is. We'll close that. So we have these tables here: dim channel, dim date, dim geography, dim product, dim sales, and dim fact table. So now we'll create another table that will be the calculations table. And in this table, we will create some measures. So new measure. So we'll work on these. Well, quickly, we have gone through the measures in our initial session of reviewing this case study and the completed. So right now, we'll just build these measures. First, we will create total sales. Total sales. Total sales is basically the sum of sum sales amount. The next is cost of goods sold. So that will be basically a new measure. The cost of goods, the most we have in this data warehouse is the total cost. So we'll summarize that. And in the next, net profit. So net profit is basically a total sales minus cost of goods. That's it. And then we need a net profit. We created that. Profit margin. Profit margin is equal to divide net profit, total sales, quantity sold, sales last year, so sales last year is basically the calculates total sales and the same period last year. When we will select the sales, it will automatically goes to the same period of the last year. It depends on the slicer we are using. So let's do that. And sales year to date. Total sales and dates is sales year to date. A date key. So viewers, now we have the measures also. So we'll now start working on this first summary. So summary is basically a sales report. And we'll enter a text box. And we'll give it a name, sales report. And here we will use the filter slicer. And in the slicers, we will use from dim date hierarchy. Fiscal year, basically we will use the fiscal year. and we will slicer settings, we will use the tile, and in the filters we will use only 3 years. 2007, 2008, and 2009. That will be our main area of data analysis. Okay, so we'll save this project, and in the first we will create a sales amount by region of by countries, right? So here we will use the uh, chart, sorry, the map, and in the map we will use region country name, that will be in the geography, region, in the country name, in the location, and sum of sales, sum of sales amount in the size. So we'll use the, in the calculation we'll use total sales in this size. So that is the review of our total sales by countries, and we'll give it a total sales by country. And in the title, we'll give it a by country. Country. And then next is net profit by continent. So we'll use the continent name will be in the, from the geography, continent name, and then net profit. We'll further format. First we'll complete it, and then the next is sales amount by channel description. Instead of continent, we will use channel, and in the profit we will be using total sales. Total sales. And the next is total sales by city name. So for that we will use stack bar chart. And in this bar chart we will use top 5 cities. channel dim geography, and the value we will be using total sales. Five top cities are shown here. Beijing is the number one. We will further format in uh, later on, but right now we'll just add these and as a total sales by city and then total sales by product category description. We'll just copy that and here we will be using total sales by product category description. Instead of city name, we will go to the categories table. So these are the five categories: home appliances, computers, and so on. And in the next chart, we will be using a line chart. So that line chart, okay. So in this line chart, we will be using month, year. So in the dimension date, we will be using the date key. And in the y-axis, we will be using total sales from the calculation. And this one we will use as a date key. Okay. And we make it and we can now select 2009, 2007. And viewers, now it's time for quickly format that. This is a sales report. We have slicers by year, and then by map, by location. By this, we will make the colors, we will change these quickly. And in the slicers, we will use colors. North America, we will use and for Europe, we will use and for Asia, Yeah, that makes sense. That looks better. The same thing here for navy, and then for the reseller we will use. Okay, that makes sense. And for catalog, we think. Okay. And here we will use bars and we'll gradient, use the gradient by total sales. Let's make this okay. And the gradient and that's how it looks like. Product by category will give the total sales by city. City total sales by category. Sales by category, right? And this one we will use as a total sales by date, right? And the color we can use is yeah, that looks better. And we can perhaps add data labels. Okay. So viewers, this is our first sales report, and in the next section, in the next session, we will work on a sales by country, margin analysis, sales by store, and profit contributions analysis. So we'll stop our session here, and we'll just review what we have done in this session. So basically, what we did is we added the country with graph, which shows the countries here. And what we can do is we can further format these. Just to explore that what we can do more in these. Uh, we can use the like this. No, we'll use the grayscale as before, and okay. Let's see the color if we can change these colors to yeah. We can use the gradients. No, let's do that again. By the calculation, and we want to see the sales as the base of color changing, and the gradient we can highest we can use bit lighter, and from the lower side we can use the okay. Okay. Okay, well, so we have completed this session and we have formatted according to the as possible as more legible. So see you in the next session. Thank you and thank you for staying so far. And in the next session, we will complete the remaining pages. Hello, viewers. Welcome back to our channel. And in this session, we will complete the next report, uh, which was about the sales by country. So let's begin. Let's first we'll just quickly recap what we have already done. Okay. So this one we have already completed sales report, and in addition to that, we already have gone through the project case study and uh, also review the completed dashboard. And after that, we completed this first page sales report. Now, in the second page, we will be completing the sales by country. So already we have all the measures and the data set here. And just I will quickly review this is our data model. As always, these are all dimensions, product categories, channels. This is fact sales. Most of these dimensions are connected with that. And you will see that these are basically many to one and many to one. And you see in the product we have dimension with the subcategory, and then subcategory is connected to the product category. And the same with the channel and the date and the store. Okay, so let's begin our project. So in this, we will first include certain. We'll first include the this slicer for year, not sync, and report heading, and the name is sales by country. Country. We'll save it, and then we need some numbers to show, and we'll choose the we will use the card slice card, and in the card we will show quantity sold. So in the calculations we have already have the quantity sold will be go here, and let's go there and then make it let's make it like this. Quantity sold, okay. So we'll copy the same thing, Let's make this here, and then okay, and we'll make it okay, and that is the total sales. We'll make it to okay 4.11 billion, and let's quantity sold, and then the other one is cost of goods. And then we have a net profit, and after that is profit margin. Okay, and the other one is change in sales. Okay, so we have a percentage change in sales as well as now we last one is year sales year to date. Sales year to date. So basically we are already having these. Yeah, I think we don't need this one. That is already we are showing the sales. Okay. So we have these and now we need total sales by class name, total sales by brand name. So we will use we'll copy this one. And that is total sales by class name. So we will instead of channel we will use a class name, and as usual we will use our total sales by class name, and then we need total sales by brand name. So for the brand name we will use and we'll use brand name and total sales. From the calculations we will use total sales, and top we will use brand name, and we will use top 5 brands, I think. What we can use is top 5 brands by sale. These are very important small steps. That's how the more practice we do, more we learn. And here we will use our color scheme. And for the economy, we can use yeah, that looks better. And here we will use, let's see what we have used here. total sales by category. In the formatting bars, we will use gradients, total sales, and so okay, now that looks better. And now we have to show total sales and sales last year by product name category. And here we'll use product category name, product category name, and along with that we need to show last year same Yeah, that looks better. And these we will also use top 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and yeah. Okay. Okay, so we have done this thing, and now we have some space, and and we will need a, we will add a small table. And in this table, we will show store name, city, total sales, net profit, and margin. So that we can get from the uh, DIMS tool. Where we have a store name, and then we will let's see what else we can get. City. So the city will be from the dimension, from the geography. Okay, city we have, and then we need total sales. Go to the calculations. Okay. And then we have the net profit. Always select and here we show the net profit margin. And the other thing we can use to that is the same as by top 5 cities. By total sales. No, no, we actually need to have a store name, top five stores. Oh, yeah, we are already using the above, so perhaps that's the constraint. We cannot use here more than two top and okay. Okay, now it works because in one visual you can use only one top five. Okay, viewers, sorry for so much time, but these are the we are learning here, so it's always good to now, viewers. You see, we have different stores, one, two, three, four, five stores here, and we can further enhance its at a glance finding out what stores are performing better. Because right now it's very hard to see the numbers. So what we can do is we'll go to the formatting tab and then cell elements. We can use the gradients, and here we will use the total sales. We can say that lower and the same we can do with the city name gradient, total sales, and the same for the total sales, the highest. Okay, and same goes for the net profit. And the last is profit margin. Okay, you see the profit margin, these are lows, these numbers are high, but you see if we look at the profit margin, sales might be lower, net profit might be total, but profit margin might be higher. We can, so on, we can look at it different way. So that's beauty of at a glance reading of the data. Okay, viewers, we'll now move to the next chart, which is this is a line chart we'll add. Basically, what we can do is we can basically try to copy this one and see how it goes here instead of reworking everything. And in this LY, okay, yeah, we have now current year sales and the last year sales here, two different shades. We can format the lines. Sales last year. Okay, that makes sense. And here we'll add a title. We'll give it a title: sales by total sales last year current year sales by month. Okay, last year versus current year sales by month, by date, instead of this by date. Remember, we are looking these date by, see in the January, every date of the January is here. So we're looking at the by date. So by date. Okay. So is the last. Now we need to add a slicer, and in this slicer we will always save your work. So this is sales report overall, right, per current year, but here we need to see by country. So what we can do here is we can go to the geography, and then we can add first we will add the total sales. Mhm. We'll add the geography. We will add a continent, and then we can add we can, let's say we can add top 25 cities, right? Let's do that. Let's try to do that. Top n, and then total sales, and let's add the 50 top 50 cities, because there are a lot of these. Oh, top, we need sales by country. Yeah, we have North, in the North America we have these. Let's try to sort these by country name. Okay, viewers, we have top North America, Europe, and then Asia. In the Asia, we have China and so on. So I think we are done with this dashboard, with this page. So let's save it. For example, if you go to Canada, you have cities accordingly, and we can look into by years and so on. Or we can all countries, we can look by Germany. You see now we have the different cities. And if you go to the Asia, we can look at the Japan, Tokyo, and all that. Okay, viewers, this one is saved now. And in the next session, we will work on the margin analysis. Okay, so let's save this one and we'll go to the next session. Okay, viewers, now we will start our next page, and in that we will go to the margin analysis. Okay, viewers, let's create a new page. Margin analysis. And in the margin analysis, we'll write down this. Margin analysis. So in the margin analysis, we will first write it down. Okay, so in the margin analysis, as always, we will need this slicer. So we have that. And in the margin analysis, we will look these through the, first we will create a table. And in this table, we will add city name, net profit, and margin. So city name would be in the geography. City name. And in the calculations, we will use net profit. And then we can use profit margin. Okay, viewers, and here we can use something. What we can use, we can read it more legible by the gradients. City name, background, gradient, and we will use net profit. No, net profit. And for the net profit, mm, for the gradient, I think we should, views, we need to have this formatting more legible. That's the main goal. So management can see at a glance what's happening, like, right? So let's see. Okay. Beijing is the has most profit and the profit margin. Let's see what the profit margin says. Here we will also in the profit margin section. The same scheme we have. Okay. So the profit margin says a different story because there are these margins are different. Let's make these also the other ones also based on profit margin. I think that makes more sense. What we can do is one thing we can do more is like make it a bit lighter so we can read it. Same for net profit. 1 point lighter. And then for profit margin, okay. You see this, we have some, we can look at this by preferred margin. Okay. Okay. And let's make these top 25 would be better. Like 30 top 30 cities by yeah, that makes sense. Now we have top 30 cities by the profit margin. So the Atlantic City have most. If we sort by ascending, we can see that the top cities, Queensland, because we are looking at the margin analysis, not by the sales volume. We will save that. And the next is we'll go for product category name, profit margins, and here we will use product category. And then we'll use not profit and change in the profit. In the calculations, we will use net profit and then the change in profit. And the same thing we can do with that also. We can use the gradients, because gradient is very useful feature. Background color based on gradient. Okay, percentage change. And same thing we can do with the net profit, background change, and then same with the okay. You see these where they are the higher profit margins, the higher the this. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. Okay. Yeah, now it looks better. And next is net profit by month. So for that, we will use the clustered. And here we will use from the date section. Month and then net profit. And we'll use again beautiful feature of gradient. Gradient by net profit, lighter, and this. Okay. So we have the profits also, net profit by month, and this is okay. We'll give small headers here. Okay. Margin by okay. Margin by city. Make it central. Okay. Okay. So we have now this margin by product category, and this is margin by city. Let's make it a bit smaller. Okay, that looks better. Yeah. Okay, we can now. Okay. Okay, Luis. Now quickly add another. You see the top are movies, cameras, camcorders, and the changes. These are the changes. You see, profit margins here. The profit margins top are doesn't drop and all that. And if you look at the net profit, profit might be large, but margin, that's how we need to look at the data. Okay, views. Now let's move to the next profit margin analysis. So we will now use another different scattered. We'll now use the scattered. So in this, we will use product category name, and then we want to see the, on the x-axis, we want to see the profit margin. The profit margin is on the x-axis, and the y-axis we are basically creating a line. Let's see. And then again we will use the profit margin in the y-axis, and that will show us the top is 58, 56, and so on. And then we want to also show the sizes by net profit. Okay. In the title, we will write down profit margin, category, margin, net profit, margin, and net profit by category. Margin and net profit by category. You see, margin, this is a top margin, but net profit may be not that much. Here we have a lot of more profit, but margin is less. So that's how it's one way of analyzing, and we can use another feature is we can show that, and okay, I think that's enough for this one. And now we will add a map here. And in this map, we want to show net profit by city. Net profit by city. And In the geography, we will get the and in the formatting, we will map setting. Let's make it a lighter gray. Lighter gray, and then the bubbles, we can make these okay, because we have that one, and now I think uh, we're done with the margin analysis. In the margin analysis, we have margin by city. You see, these are where the margins are higher, it gets darker. We can sort it by margin. You see, the higher the margin, the darker it will get, and that will highlight the city, and so on with the margin by product category, and then profit margin and net profit by category, and then net profit by month. So in the months, certain months have more profits, and so on. We can add data label. Let's see. Yeah. That's okay. We'll leave this here. We consider to be completed. So we have right now we have completed sales report. We have sales by country, margin analysis. And the next is viewers. We will use another an important feature, that is profit contribution analysis. And in this profit contribution analysis. So in this, we will use one slicer, and then we will use this tree chart. And in this tree chart, we will analyze the profit will analyze profit explained by geography, will explain by continent, then by store names, by store name and then by product category. And then by product. It's very useful chart we will first time we are using here. Okay, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Well, what we can do is we can add a country also, I think. Okay. But we need total profit. Or we can look at the profit margin. Okay. For example, in North America, we can see that high values. We see that profit margin is overall North America has the highest profit. Then we can see that Contoso AG. Oh, let's see what we have. Okay, so for example, in the United States, we have more profit. Contoso 8 GB clock. Okay, so here we see that Contoso Georgetown and this Atlantic City, followed by, so these are the, and if we look at that, camera and camcorders. So if we look at these, This is very useful graph. For example, we are looking at the profit margin. We can simply go, we see that North America has the highest uh, profit margins, followed by United States country, and then these are the cities. Hmm. Georgetown store and this and so. And in that we can see that cameras and camcorders are very high. Or we can also look into this by, let's see, we can add net profit. You see, if we look at the net profit, we can see overall in the United States, still North America, United States. Now the Georgetown, the profit is low, but margins were high. And if you want to look at by the total sales, so that we can see how these sales, so we can analyze by different uh, measures. Like we want to see the margin by net profit or by cost of goods sold. You see the cost of good, North America has the highest cost. And so on. But we can look at the by, we go back to by margin. So the margin are like that's how the management quickly want to see what's happening in the overall company-wide sales, and they can drill down to different levels. So we can look into 2009, and we can see that by 2006 and then 2009. So viewers, this one is done as well. So we have a sales report overall. Then if manage want to see by a country, they can look at the sales report by country, and we can do some formatting here quickly. We can add a small header here. sales by store and city. Profit and margin by store and city. Okay. Okay, viewers, this one is complete now. I think we will consider our project for Contoso sales uh, by country, margin analysis, and all these by margin analysis and profit contributions as complete. So, viewers, if you have any questions, please leave comments. This is a big database, Contoso by Microsoft. You can download it from the Microsoft website, and we have already created some videos on how to install these databases and in SQL Server, and then the rest is we have already shown you how to get this data, Contoso retail stores data into our Power BI, and then gone through all these case study and this project. Okay, viewers, thank you very much. And if you like this project, please subscribe our channel and share this project and like. And if you have any questions, please leave comments. Thank you and have a great day.